G'day everyone, what's going on? CMAC here. So today I've gotten myself into a little bit of a situation. I'm already running about 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late for work, and I've sort of only just left home. Not too good. I was up late last night watching MotoGP and the Downhill World Cup. Ended up falling asleep watching the Downhill World Cup. It's a disgrace. I didn't stay awake to watch it all. Unacceptable. Anyway, had some good come to me over the weekend. Old mate Mr. Screw Me Round had finally decided to pay up. I ended up going to the police station on... when was it? Would have been on... Saturday? Saturday I went to the police station and, well, they were pretty much useless. They couldn't help me at all. Because I didn't call up and get them to attend the accident and nobody was hurt, they wouldn't give me any information. They couldn't do up any sort of traffic report for me. They also couldn't disclose the guy's information, as in his address, which I sort of understand. But what was annoying is, like, I asked whether they had any idea as to what I should do or how I should get it. And they were like, oh, no, not our problem. So they were pretty much useless. Then what happened? Then I contacted him and said that I had been to the police station that day. And he was like, okay. Basically accepted that I was not screwing around anymore. Yeah, so I think he realized that I'm not playing around and that I was willing to take him to court. He probably spoke to his dad or someone, who I believe it was probably his dad, because that's who he had said previously that he was going to get payment off, and they said, look, stop screwing this guy around, you're in the wrong. Like, just pay him. He's already done so much. Like, yeah, I dropped the price by half at least. And that was the best that I could do, and he was still screwing me around. So anyway, I met up with him on Sunday. Wasn't too concerned. I had a mate come with me just to be like a witness to sign the documents, as well as just in case anything happened. I don't think this guy would have been foolish enough to allow, like, to do anything stupid like that. But then again, he has shown that he's pretty dumb. So, don't know. There are some really unintelligent people in the world. Yeah, so I met up with him on Sunday down at just like halfway between our places. Basically had up a form of release for him, had to type that up. Got him to sign, I signed it. My mate signed it as a witness, counted the money and left. On Friday, when I had chased up the extra quote for him, and he said that he tried to chase his own but it wasn't working or whatever, and that he still needed pictures, so I went and sent through the pictures to him, and he was like, oh, these are inconclusive, I'm not happy to pay and whatever, and we'll go to court then and you'll get $25 a month payments. I didn't abuse him, but I definitely stood my ground. There's a massive letter that I basically put together and sent to him. I'll probably flash it up on screen now so you can see what I sent to him, because I just had enough. attitude that this guy had towards me was unacceptable. So yeah, I said that and basically told him that I'm going to the police on Saturday and that if I don't hear from him by then, that legal action's taking place. He sent me a message like 10 minutes before the deadline and was like, I'm still yet to come down from my price, and that basically just trying to screw me around again, once again. The fact that he like went and said that, oh, I'm still yet to come down from my price again, it's like, just shows how unintelligent this guy is. This guy is very dumb. But considering that I had already dropped the price by half and everything left was just bumpy roads. It was just so that I could get the bike fixed. So I came back to him and was like, yep, I'm not accepting that as your acceptance of previously stated terms, and therefore I'm taking legal action. He then came back and was like, look mate, call me and we'll sort out payment. And basically he folded, so I called him, arranged to meet up with him on Sunday, met him, he signed, I signed, mate signed, counted money, left. I was not having any form of discussion with him whatsoever. The smelly bastard tried to shake my hand when I rocked up and it's just like, no, not happening. Need to go and have like 5 showers. I should have probably just amputated my arm at that stage. Whatever it is that he's got is probably contagious. Anyway, so finished that, got home and sorted out all the parts that I'm gonna actually need to get, and have put out a few messages just to the places where I'm going to be getting the parts from, just saying, hey, can you check that these part numbers are actually going to be the correct color before I order them. Hopefully I hear back from them today or tomorrow, and that way I can put the order out. I just need to make sure I get 2 particular parts before the track day. And then watched MotoGP last night, which was pretty damn interesting, as it usually is. So Marquez, Lorenzo and Pedrosa were on the starting grid, and then Rossi was 5th, Hector Barbera was like 4th or 6th, and who was he there with? And then I think we might have been there with Vinales, but I'm not sure on that one. Anyway, started off, Lorenzo started off really strong, as he usually does, got to the front basically straight away within the first corner. I was up there leading for quite a while, whereas Rossi had been swamped by all the Ducatis going down the main straight, as well as Vinales had jumped in front of him. So he ended up, after the first corner, Rossi was down in 8th, battled up through them all, and then he was battling with Vinales for quite a while, but Vinales was just being crazy basically, and was running hot into every corner and running wide basically. Jesus Christ, that wind is strong there, blowing me over to the side. Yeah, battled with him for quite a while, and then he got past him. Vinales ran wide too many times and basically dropped off. Rossi caught up to, got past the Ducatis, all of them. Then got up to Pedrosa, past him, past Marquez, and then caught up to Lorenzo and past him. And then after Rossi had passed Lorenzo, basically, that was it. Lorenzo was done for. Something must have been playing up on his bike, whether it was the tyre wear or something. He'd gone too hard at the start, but basically Lorenzo's pace just was a second or 2 seconds back on most of the other riders, so he was just dropping rapidly. Got overtaken by Marquez almost straight after Rossi, and then Pedrosa, and then Vinales. And then he dropped all the way back to where the Ducatis were. And Iannone basically did the same thing as what happened, I think it was on the 2nd race of the year, where he went to take an inside line and basically just torpedoed Lorenzo came on the inside, couldn't stop in time to make the corner because Lorenzo had his line and leant down into it. And he's just braked, realised that he's going to hit him, braked harder, the back end of his bike's lifted up like good 30 centimetres in the air, if not more, and just straight lined into Lorenzo. Both of them flipped out, slid down the road, and so Lorenzo was taken out. Going to be interesting to see what discussions are said about that, considering Iannone is meant to be Lorenzo's future partner on Ducati. Yeah, basically went all the way up until about the 5th lap, and then Marquez and Rossi started battling it out. Marquez basically gained back on him and was just pushing as hard as he could. Overtook him a couple times, but it seemed as though Rossi was just more in tune with the track, had smoother braking and was just riding that tiny bit faster. So Marquez made a couple of mistakes trying to keep up with him. There was a chicane that was put in after the death of one of the Moto2 riders to change the track up, make it a bit safer, I think it was. I assume so, make it safer. But flipping from one side to the other, Marquez's elbow clipped to the ground, sucked him down and almost spat him out. So he lost a bit of time there, and then also when he was right on Rossi's tail, they went into another chicane. Jesus, I'm basically having to ride on an angle because of how much wind there is. This is ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, where was I? Fucking, you know, shits and tits. Shits on tits. Marquez trying to keep up with Rossi, just wasn't working. Ended up running hot into a corner on the last lap, or penultimate lap, and lost a good few bike lengths. And after that, that was basically it. Marquez was then on the ride of his life, like absolutely hauling ass, but Rossi was still gaining more and more time on him. The gap was getting bigger and bigger. Rossi finished across the line in first. So Marquez now leads the point score by I think 10 points above Lorenzo. And then Rossi's 20 points behind Marquez, or 22 points behind Marquez. So I think all Rossi needs is for Marquez to crash out now or not complete a race that he does, because unfortunately Rossi had the engine fail on him in the last one, and so that meant that Lorenzo and Marquez got a shit ton of points, whereas he didn't. So having Lorenzo get taken out was a bit of a blessing for him, sort of made the points game a little bit closer. Oh yeah, park your car, you know, for all this oncoming traffic that you need to check out, can't see. Go into the right hand lane too, you're a bad driver. Alright guys, I'm pretty much at work now, so I'll see you in a sec. So I'm on my way home now. Gonna try taking a slightly different route. One that I tried last week when I had my car. Sort of cuts out the set of traffic lights that are basically behind these buildings just here. Was a little bit faster in the car. I'm not sure whether it's going to be that much faster on the bike or not, as the traffic lights, I can sort of just like filter up to the front of them. But that being said, they also do take forever to change and you get stuck in a whole line of cars, so I don't know, I think this way probably is faster as long as I don't get stuck at these traffic lights, but that like hardly ever happens. It seems like it is a little bit faster. I'd have to worry that down this road that I'm just about to turn down onto, this one here, whether there's cops hiding along it. There's a cop shop's just down the road there a little bit, and I'm pretty sure this is like a 60 road. The reason why I didn't like it when I took my car is because I had my R6 in the trailer and it's a very bumpy road and the R6 was jumping around all over the place and I did not want her falling over. I need to duck past my older brother's friend's place tonight if I hear back from him, because I need to go and pick up mounts for the stand that my brother owns. My brother's mate had been borrowing it for quite a while as my brother no longer has a sports bike that needs a rear stand. Oh, back at traffic lights. That car should not have gone then. Anyway, yeah, need to duck past there and grab the adapter, the spool adapters. It's got flat ones at the moment which I can use on this girl. But I would need to go pick up the spool ones because it's my brother's last day at TAFE tomorrow down at Logan or whatever, which he goes to a couple different TAFEs throughout the week and he goes to the ones down near the place that he used to work at, the motorbike store that he used to work at. So I need to take my wheels off the R6 and put them in my car, and he's going to take my car, go past the place where he used to work at and get the new tyres chucked on, as well as get some helmet linings for me. So I've used the flat mounts twice on the R6, but I don't like them and I don't want to be taking the wheel off the bike without the spool ones, as just the flat ones don't hold on to it very well. The rear swing arm has like an arc to it and yeah, it just doesn't hold it very nicely. It doesn't hold it secure, at least not as secure as I want it to be. Last thing I'd want it to do is, after having settled all of the funds for the repairs and stuff from when old mate backed into it, I'd hate to go and damage it again. So two things that I want to get for the R6 now that I have to do the repairs is I'm going to change the stock indicators that are on the front ones, the big shitty looking bulb ones that stick out the sides, but I also want to get a integrated indicator slash brake light for the rear of the bike and get rid of the ones that stick out the sides. Apparently they're not legal because they need to stick out a certain distance from your number plate or from the side of the bike or some stupid bullshit, even though the integrated ones do the job and people know what you're doing. Apparently they're not legal. Fuck it, it's what I want. So I might get one of them, chuck it in. As well as I need to get a power commander so I can start to tune my bike for the exhaust that I've got on it. And I need to look into other exhausts, like I've mentioned previously, just so that I can go to other tracks and stuff, but it's so hard, I just don't know what I want to get because they all look like shit, to be honest. I really don't like the look of any of them. So let me check whether I've got a message from my mate. Whoa, those lights are bright. Can't see a fucking thing. 3 missed calls. Yeah, no, I don't care about you. Nope, don't care. Oh, yep, that. Nope, too easy, bro. Cool, nope, nothing yet. So I might have to sort something else out when I get home. Basically, what I don't want to have to do, which I might have to do, is set the bike up one way, take wheels off, hope that it lasts, and then when I get these spools, or the spool adapter, I have to go and put it together that way. Yeah, so because I've got to take these wheels off tonight, like tonight's the last night that I can take them off and get this shit done. I'm gonna, because I don't have a front stand either, I'm gonna strap the bike up to the rafters of my garage so the whole front end of it's supported, and then set the rear of the bike up in a stand. So I'm gonna have to find out some way that to make sure that I have the rear of it secure in its stand, even though it doesn't have the spool adapter. I'll figure something out, I'm sure. As long as I don't drop her. That's the main thing. Anyway guys, it's pretty much that time. Getting closer to home. So, if you enjoyed this video and hearing me rant, be sure to smack that like button. And if you want to see more, almost daily, content, subscribe. Anyway, CMAC out. Peace.